Good?
Yeah, I was clearing my thoughts. My ears are ringing like a motherfucker. Motherfucker.
I was like, I don't know if the question.
No, you're good. I was trying to I'm ready.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Kalesiah.
What color are you feeling like today? Yeah, that was the question. Person that popped into your head.
Magenta is like my, what is it called? Like my resting aura. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling very much myself today. And I like to say that magenta, it's a cross between red and purple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a cross between passion and royalty.
So you feeling passionate and royal? That's
Always.
The resting?
Always.
Okay. You have any passions?
To be my best self all the time. Express myself authentically all the time. And I feel like naturally, if I stay in that frequency and I keep rising, it's going to generate the life that I know I desire for myself.
And when you're like constantly doing it, then it's like constantly taking less and less work.
Yeah, because you're just being natural. Like, I'm doing this because I love to do this, and this is what makes me happy. Versus I'm doing this because I have to do this, because I have to pay my bills, and I have to live this life. And no, okay. I'm going to live my life how I want to live my life. And I won't take nothing less. You got to do what you got to do, but...
At the same time...
Exactly.
You got to live.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in that respect, was that always the way you was that always a passion to be your authentic self? Or did you come into pursuing that?
No, I definitely came into that about a year ago from now.
Oh, so it was recent.
Yeah. Because I came out here for college. Mm-hmm. That's what you're supposed to do after high school. You go to college, you get your degree, you get the job from the degree, and then you just live your boring adult life. Sometimes you go on vacations, sometimes you spend time with your family, but your life mostly revolves around work, right?
Yeah.
Which is still true, but my perspective on work has changed. In a sense where I'm working towards being my best self,
So it's like,
yeah.
It's not really like a chore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Favorite food? Right now, currently.
Like some curry, like a curry chickpea sauce over some rice and some plantain. The sweet kinds.
You don't like
fried.
The non-sweet?
No, I do. That's just not what I grew up on.
Okay.
Dessert?
Yeah.
Why I wanted to say chocolate cake.
You don't have to go with chocolate cake.
Have you ever heard of berry chantilly cake?
Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, that shit is so good. They have this berry chantilly cake at Whole Foods, and I used to get it every year for my birthday. It's so good. It's like, it looks like vanilla, but it's like you know what like almond extract tastes like? You know what I'm talking about? Man, you're not a baker. Let me just stop right there.
Vanilla extract. I don't know nothing about almond.
It's just good, trust. I won't go too into detail, but just trust. The berry chantilly cake bust.
Okay, snack.
Fruit.
Fruit? What kind of fruit? You can't give me fruit.
I'm not picky.
Oh, good. What's the one that you can eat every day?
Pineapple.
Sour? More sour or like more sweet pineapple?
In between. I like fruits that are tangy and sweet. I don't like stuff that's too sweet too sour is good too. You know what my favorite fruits are? Pineapple, grapefruit.
Grapefruit is interesting.
And I know it is, but you gotta eat it a certain way where you're like peeling off all of the skin, so you're only getting the juicy stuff inside. Cause a lot of people will try to eat the grapefruit like a damn orange. You can't do that. It's too I mean, you can, but it's like I peel it all off till it's just like, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
And like peaches or nectarines.
So how you feel about kiwi?
Yeah, kiwi's good.
Just had to mention.
Kiwi's good, but it's one of those fruits that if it get too ripe, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It get this weird texture. I don't like soft
eat it
apples either.
constantly either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drink.
I don't even drink alcohol anymore,
I'm
but
talking about drinking. I'm talking about like.
but a
beverage.
mimosa,
I'm talking about beverage.
a mimosa though, like a mimosa with some like really good prosecco and like some passion fruit juice. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Yeah. I love bubbly stuff. Love it. Even just soda water.
Soda water? I don't know about soda water.
I call it seltzer. Like some lime seltzer with like a lemon. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Sparkling water is.
It's just my taste. And you know what's funny? Like when I used to date, I would go out to restaurants with people and they would always be like, "Oh, you like seltzer water? You like bubbly water?" I know you grew up around white people.
Okay, that's not.
And then they will say some weird shit like, "Oh, you must be bougie." Listen, I just didn't like water growing up and I needed a little some. You know? I like it now,
I
but
don't like cold. I don't like warm water. See now, if you tell me to drink warm water, I'd rather just.
it's what's best for you. Hot water too.
But like cold water, I like cold water more so. I can just drink it.
You know why Asians are so healthy? It's their diet. They eat a lot of like they drink a lot of hot liquids like soup and like tea and stuff like that. Yeah. It's facts. You should look into it. I think I might switch over to like a Chinese diet or something. I'm just kidding, but
We'll think about
some
it.
days,
We'll
some
definitely
days.
think about
Uh-huh.
it. Okay. Silver or gold? Like, which one do you like more?
Mixed. Look.
I usually get too much mixed answers. I usually just say either one.
No, I like them both.
At the same time too? Okay. Speaking of clothes, what is your taste more so into?
It's whatever I'm feeling. I don't have a style. Some people tell me I dress kind of like 90s. But maybe just in my pants. I don't know. I just wear what I feel like it. I love patterns and I love color, but not too much. Like, I don't want to look like a rainbow. And I also love to be coordinated with lots of accessories, but not like overboard.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the maximalist.
Oh, there's a whole arm of bracelet. That would be crazy.
Hey, some people, they look good in that. That's not my preference for me. Yeah, for sure. You know, some people like the outfit. Nah, people do what they want. It's none of my business. It's none of my business.
Okay. Now going into, we're talking about dating. What's your perspective on love? Like more positive, more negative?
It's very positive. I think that the society that we live in has conditioned us to see others as like the center of our lives. You know? It's like you hear people talk about all the time how they almost don't feel validated in a way because they don't have a partner. But at the end of the day, like, you're gonna be your own best lover possible. Like, real shit. And I think love is just so much deeper than romance and yeah, like friendship with other people. I feel like everything is love. Like, no cap. That might sound kind of corny, but just like everything created by God is love, you know?
If it has energy, it probably has love. is what you're saying?
Yeah, like real shit. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, has your feelings always been so positive on love?
Yeah. Like, truthfully, you asked me about love, and I'm thinking about the things that I love about life, things I love to experience, the things I love about myself and to share with other people, not so much love like relationships and whatnot. But it's really all the same thing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. It all ties in. It all goes hand in hand.
Like a seesaw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, speaking about friends, what are some green flags that you have for friends?
They know who they are. And they walk in their power.
Can't have nobody who's afraid?
No.
Being yourself?
No, it took me so long to let go of fear of being myself that it's almost painful for me to pour into others who don't love themselves, you know? And yes, there's always more to work on, especially when it comes to how I express myself and how I see myself. But that's like the general gist of it for me. And I love people who, they just don't care what nobody thinks, you know? It's like, this is me. This is how I show up. And take it or leave it. Because that's very much how I am. And taking other people's feelings into consideration, obviously, I don't like to filter myself. I feel like to filter yourself and hold yourself back from expressing yourself is to betray your soul. Because your soul just wants to be. It just wants to be, you know?
How about red flags?
Red flags, opposite of everything I just said, you know?
Nah, I can't use that one.
Red flags. Only listens to one type of music. It's like one genre of music and everything they play sounds the same. Can't do it. Someone that spends all of their time on social media. Can't do it. Can't do it. Or even just around technology all the time. Their whole life revolves around technology. Can't do it. Because if I can't call you to go on this adventure with me and you're pressed about your phone, like, I just can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, people who don't live in the moment can't do it.
Oh, we get this picture, bro. Chill.
No, literally. I used to be that way. I used to be that way. Like, everywhere I went, if I saw a cute place that matched my Instagram aesthetic and my outfit looked good and it matched, can you take my pictures right quick? But then we'd be taking pictures for a half an hour. Like, girl.
I was like, I don't feel like there's anything like intrinsically bad about it.
No,
like,
no. But it's also like the mindset. Because I'm going to this place with the intention of taking pictures for an online personality. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's pointless. None of that shit matters. And it takes away from living in the moment. Obviously, I still love to take pictures and I love to be art for the camera, but different mentality.
Matters a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors, all the way. In the summertime, I literally spend the whole day outside. After I take my morning shower, drink my tea or whatever, whole day outside till the sun goes down.
Why is that?
The free flow of energy. I feel it.
Oh, so
versus being in a box.
Usually in nature?
Huh?
So when you're outside, usually in nature?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But even like my backyard, you know, there's trees out there and that's enough for me. But just being in a box all day, it feels so containing, is that the right word? Limiting?
Yeah, I think that might be limiting.
Yeah. Versus when I'm outside, I just feel free and I feel one with the earth. Mm-hmm.
Are you spiritual?
For sure. Definitely spiritual. But I don't like go around telling people I'm spiritual. Like, I feel like you just talk to someone and you know.
Yeah,
It doesn't need to be like a known fact. Yeah.
Energy kind of thing. Like, yeah, I feel like you move with with intention in that way.
For sure. And when I became spiritual in the sense where I started living my daily life with a spiritual mentality, that was literally a game changer for me. Because every day became about living in my authenticity and being my best self. And spending every moment doing rituals, right? Mm-hmm. Ritual is part of the word spiritual. Doing rituals that genuinely are helping maintain my vibration or rise it. And I know that I'm pouring my energy into something in the now that is bringing me where I need to be.
You feel like you can get lost in that spiritual, that way?
What do you mean lost? Like
trying to do a whole bunch of rituals and stuff like that. Do you feel like you could get lost in just trying to be, I don't know how to describe it, but just...
No, I know what you're saying. But no, because even just making sure that I spend at least some time outside is a ritual, you know? Making sure I drink my tea every day because I know that's going to help my body flow as it needs to. That's a ritual. Yes, you know, I have an altar, you know. Yes, I do ritualistic things, but all of that is what makes me, all of that is authentic to me. You know what I mean? And it's like when I stop expressing myself, mm-hmm. That's when I turn into a depressed state. You know what I mean? All you want to do is just lay around and drill your eyes in the phone because it just takes the time away and you don't got to think about nothing. I hope I answered your question, right?
I definitely answered it.
Yeah.
Favorite compliment you ever received?
You have powerful energy. And it was the first time that I heard it that I realized how much I appreciated the compliment. Because the vast majority of people will just compliment something about my physical appearance.
Mm-hmm. You don't like those compliments?
I appreciate them. But I think that I think that people should pay more attention to the inside. Real shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
And just think about the compliment that I said. You don't hear that very often. But it's such a fact. You know? Like some people walk in the room and they walk in the room like they own themselves and they know who they are. That's that powerful energy.
Favorite moment last year?
My favorite moment last year.
Off the dome.
Off the dome. The day my soul came out of hibernation. The day I awakened. The day I had a spiritual awakening. I feel like that's a term you hear sometimes on the internet. It was very intense for me. Yeah. I heard... I fasted Fasted my body.
Or what kind of fast?
Water fast.
Okay.
I water fasted and I ate a 3-5 of mushrooms. And I wasn't tripping yet. I sat in the middle of the floor and I listened to a song called The Healer by Erykah Badu. If you listen to that song and you listen to her lyrics and you listen to the frequencies, you can tell she knew exactly what she was doing. But there was a point in the song where I heard a tuning fork frequency, and it was like there was a string pulling my third eye to the skies, like a ding. And when I opened my eyes, I remembered who I was, and I remembered my past lives, some of them. But I remembered being God. I remembered being God. I remembered being divine, and how ancient my soul was, and how the way they've constructed this whole world is literally to keep us from our authentic selves, our divine energy that we are at the core. Knowledge is power, right? Mm-hmm. Knowledge of self is probably the most powerful thing that you can experience and continue to grow in. But yes, I do believe that people are reincarnated, and before you reincarnate, you pick your life, because the life that you pick has to do with your karmic lessons that your soul needed to learn in this lifetime. My soul picked to come here. I haven't been on this planet for a very long time, but I picked this era because I knew that the people needed help. But I don't say that from a standpoint where I'm anybody's savior, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm simply here to just be and live in myself and my divine energy and be an example, you know? To simply be an example, because we can be anything that we want to be. Anything we want to do. Literally anything. You can create any life you want. But they want us stuck in this loop.
Gotta say it again.
They want us stuck in the loop, man. And I'm not part of the loop anymore. I don't desire to be a part of the loop. It's a cycle.
Can you get caught in it?
Oh, I did. I did. For the first 22 years of my life, I was asleep, living in the Matrix. I don't do that anymore. Unless I gotta go to the grocery store or some shit. But you know. Yeah.
How will your friends describe you?
Because I think that I come off as opinionated. Mm-hmm. But I don't see myself as that way. Because although I have very strong opinions, my mentality is ever changing, you know? My beliefs are ever changing. People, I feel like they would describe me as a deep person, you know? I don't like surface level things. They would describe me as fun, artistic. Yeah.
Any negatives?
I mean, I think opinionated sounds kind of negative, but negatives. I feel like I can be very quick to switch up my vibe, like What's the word? Like, I can be an emotional roller coaster if I haven't done my grounding for the day.
Oh.
Yeah, like I could go from 0 to 100 really fucking quick. But it takes me so much to get there now, and I love that for myself. Like, I've truly grown in that sense. I've truly grown.
And like maintaining a certain like.
Yeah, like people might try and piss me off. Girl, please.
People try to do that?
Oh, for sure. But like sometimes it's not intentional, and you know it's just them being salty, but directing the energy towards you. But they really just don't like themselves. Ain't got shit to do with me. And I'm a big believer in treating people how you want to be treated. Cause I ain't trying to get no nasty energy back my way. The fuck?
I ain't do nothing to deserve it. I ain't gonna try to feed into it either.
Right.
Speaking of being an example, when it's all said and done, what do you want to be remembered as? Like, what do you want your story to really be about? Or like, what do you want people to really take away from your existence?
I want to be remembered as someone who lived the best life they could possibly live. And I built that from scratch. I'm building that from scratch. Well, maybe not necessarily. Because all those before me have laid out the blueprint. But I feel like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like you're doing what you were supposed to do in your...
Exactly. Yeah. I'd be living that life. The life I was meant to live.
I forgot my questions.
It's okay. Over here chatting.
Just chatting in general. Oh yeah, how do you set boundaries?
How do I set boundaries? This is actually something I struggled with for so long, and I realized the first step to actually setting boundaries is to setting boundaries with yourself and standing on business. Because if you can't even do that, how do you expect other people to actually... Yeah, literally. Exactly. And so being true to myself, like telling myself I see something or I want something or I deserve something for myself, and then actually embodying that and only accepting that is like different, you know? So to really like maintain that. So yeah, like set boundaries with yourself first. Live up to them. And it should never be difficult to communicate that with someone else.
Especially a friend.
Yeah, because setting boundaries, you're really just loving yourself, right? So I think discussing boundaries is the type of conversations that a lot of people avoid. And it's stupid. It's stupid.
A lot of people don't like confrontation. That's probably why.
They don't like confrontation. They don't like respectful confrontation. You know, like the type of people that just let shit build up and then out of nowhere it's like... Like, bro, if we discussed this calmly a few months ago, we wouldn't be here right now. Because I know I'm dedicated to growth. Let me know what you need me to adjust. I got you. Always room to grow. For sure.
You take all of the advice that you get?
No.
Why is that?
I think advice is one of those things that, well, people can only speak from their own experiences, right? And yeah, that's why. because they're a different person. They're a different version.
So it's all good about like all advice is not good.
No, I'm just saying I don't take all of it. You know, I'll take some of it if it resonates with me, but I ain't gonna take all that shit. No, definitely not.
Every month.
September. It's still summer, but it's not too hot.
Is that your birthday month?
I was born in January.
You wouldn't pick your birthday month?
No.
Too cold?
You know what's funny is my friend the other day, because it was my birthday a few weeks ago. She was like, "Oh, what are you doing for your birthday?" I said nothing. She said, "You're so inconspicuous about your birthday." And I just thought that was so funny, because I kind of am. Some people, it's like, it's all about me, celebrate my life, which is beautiful. I'm just not really like that, because I feel like every day is a day to celebrate my life. Every day is special. Literally, every day is special. You just have to allow it to be.
You believe people can change. I feel like that's a good one.
I believe people can definitely change. They just have to want to change. They have to want to change. And unfortunately, especially, just in general, I was going to say within our age range, but I meet really old adult babies all the time, stuck in childish ways. Age doesn't matter in that aspect. Yeah. But most people are comfortable. They would rather stay comfortable in their ignorance or whatever the case may be than to change. Yeah. I had a friend once, and he was like, "I don't believe that people change. I believe that they just become closer to who they are." And I also thought that was facts. But I also think that everybody's journey is different. Some people may actually change. They may change more into themselves by releasing programming or just, whatever the case may be. But then there are also some people that have been so beat down by life and let themselves be beat down into the ground that they've lost touch with themselves almost completely. And then they're just, it's like, damn, bro.
So with that being said, I'm going to assume that all change is not good.
Change is good.
All change?
I think everything happens for a reason. So actually, I would agree that all change is good. Even if it feels like shit.
Yeah.
Even if it feels like shit.
Now, speaking of like in a relationship or like friendship, like do you believe like if somebody had did you wrong that they could like redeem themselves, or if you cut them off, they're like completely cut off, like they don't have room to change?
I feel like it should be more so about like redeeming themselves for themselves. I feel like it shouldn't have anything to do with me. The change because you want to change for yourself, not because you want me back in your energy. Because that in itself sounds kind of, it sounds like they would be an energy vampire. It sounds like that would be something an energy vampire would do.
Yeah. Just trying to constantly stay in good graces with you, while also...
Yeah, like, don't care what I think. What do you think about yourself? And just do better. I also don't spin the block. I don't. There's been a few times I did. But I realized every time I did it, it was because it was tied into me wanting to feel validated.
So it wasn't really good for you.
What's really good for me?
I said, so it wasn't really good for you. Is that when you were spinning it back?
Sure it was, because now I'm here telling you about how I would never do that anymore. Like, what?
Like indirectly.
Yeah, gotta stand on business. Gotta stand on business.
How do you make new friends?
By being myself. I've actually been in solitude for so long, and I've done the most growing I've ever done in my whole life in like this year of spending the vast majority of my time with self. And like, you know, some people may go out somewhere with the intention of making new friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, yeah, I just, exactly, I don't chase, I attract. I make new friends by living my life how I want to and coming across other energies. And like when you meet a new friend, you just know y'all was meant to be friends. It doesn't have to be like a step-by-step process, you know?
Ooh, yeah. So on that answer, how do you differentiate between best friends and acquaintances?
I would consider a friend someone who I frequently exchange energy with, simply with the intention of enjoying each other's presence. Versus an acquaintance is someone that I'm familiar with and I'm friendly with, but we don't spend time. We've never, yeah, we don't spend time.
How about best friend?
Best friends?
Yeah.
Because I feel like time doesn't have anything to do with it, but my closest friend is someone I've been friends with for pretty much my whole life. But we're really just family. You know, I don't even see her as a friend anymore. Even our families are families. I'll go to her house to see her parents, knowing she ain't there. Like, you know, that's not really my friend anymore. A best friend, though, yeah, someone I...
So do you make best friends often? Or do you kind of have like a small select few?
No. When I used to have a lot of friends, like when I was younger and coming into myself, I barely knew most of those people and they barely knew me. They were just, I don't know, best friends. I've had a few best friends, but relationships come and go. And I'm someone who, as I grow, I like the people in my inner circle to be a reflection of that. And unfortunately, like, if you know you're headed somewhere, a lot of people get left behind. And yeah. Definitely let a lot of best friends go.
Can they spin back?
No. But I'll always appreciate them.
And for what the times was.
Yeah.
Respect.
You know how people say if they feel like they're not growing with their romantic partner, that they shouldn't be with them? I feel as though friends are the same thing. So if I'm friends with you and we're not growing together, this is not doing anything for me.
You think it's inherently like a problem if you don't grow together? Like,
yes. Because you should never be the same place you were a year ago. If you are, there's something wrong. I'm not saying there's anything like bad about you, but as somebody that's committed to growth, I just don't think that that's healthy.
almost like with plants and stuff. Like, if what you're around isn't really suitable for you, then it's probably better to
For
switch
sure.
the situation.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Rest in peace. Rest in power. How about that?
Yeah,
A time was lived.
that sounds
Experiences were had and no longer meant to be shared with each other.
and that's okay.
And that's okay. Exactly.
You have any insecurities?
When I feel like threatened, like when I feel like someone is challenging me with negative energy, it feels like a lot. And sometimes I feel as though I'm not able to express myself as well as I would be if I was in a state of homeostasis. So the way that I let other people get in my energy, even if it's just for a few minutes, like, I don't like that. And to not be able to say what I felt like I should have said is such a annoying feeling. You know what I mean? But I also feel at the same time that's like a problem with just wanting to have control. You know, you can't see the future. You don't control the outcomes. Everything happens as it was intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like you could control what you, because
Yes.
what you were saying was like about like your response to it, not really
Right.
about them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah.
really predict that, but you can kind of like control how you kind of respond to things. So I can see how you feel like having that lack of control.
For
like
sure.
saying what you wanted to say at the time.
For
It's
sure.
probably because maybe like not really emotional, but like your energy was disrupted, so you probably don't feel.
Yeah. But like not being able to maintain myself in that is like, it makes me feel insecure. Because I should, you know? And
I'm not stupid, I know. Like, I was
exactly. What's another insecurity? My body was actually like an insecurity of mine for a very long time. Very long time.
Too tall?
No,
Too
I
big?
actually grew up overweight. I did. Like, this is your BMI chart. Like, this is the line of obesity, right? I'm right there. And like my doctor like tried to put me on diets and stuff. She was like, "Oh, 2 sweets a week." And I think that's how it started.
With the 2 sweets?
Yeah, I was literally bulimic in high school. I literally wouldn't eat. I remember in middle school, that was like the Tumblr girl days. I graduated high school in 2020. I forget how old you said you were, but I graduated high school in 2020, and that was around middle school, like 2014, 2015. That was around the time where white girls were making being like deathly skinny a trend. And it was like if you didn't have a thigh gap in between your legs, like you weren't skinny enough. And at first I lost the weight just because I started playing sports and actually eating healthy. But then when I realized I lost the weight, like, you know, when you're a kid, you don't pay attention to stuff like that. But then everyone kept being like, "Oh, Kalesiah, you look so good. Like, you, like, what did you start doing? Look at that body." Like, and I'm kind of just like, you know what I mean? But that really fucks with you, you know, because they're basically saying that You look
Oh,
better
wasn't
than
good
you
enough
did before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of just like, man, what the hell? And that's how it started, you know? I was not eating, bro. I was not eating at all. I wouldn't like make myself throw up or anything, but and I wasn't anorexic per se, but I definitely had an issue. Definitely had an issue. And even now, like if I gain weight mad quick, I'm like, yo. But I'm always skinny. Like that's the thing. It's literally body dysmorphia. Real shit. What else am I insecure about?
If you don't got nothing, you don't have to.
Yeah, we don't need to keep talking about that if you don't want to.
No,
I'm just
saying
like, I'm really thinking for myself though. Like this is good for this is like shadow work right now. You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel insecure that I feel like I'm not doing enough and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I know that I'm spending my time meaningfully, you know, but sometimes it doesn't feel like enough because I've been programmed to see instant gratification, like instant results. But that's not how the big results come. They come over time. But with like social media and just like seeing how other people live their lives, it seems very demanding on your own energy when you have really big goals.
Because now you want the big results too, but at the same time it comes with a price of like time.
Right.
What keeps you in the moment?
What keeps me in the moment?
You're scaring me every time you start laughing. I'm thinking I'm gonna hear like a crazy.
It's because this
crazy
is just
answer.
like what keeps me in the moment is remembering that time doesn't exist, and it's just
a social construct.
It's just a social construct, literally. It's literally, yeah. Thinking about the past is not bringing me anywhere forward. Neither is the future. Because I'm over here pressed about things that didn't happen or is about to happen when I could just be worried about, not even worried, just experiencing the now.
Okay. Speaking of moments, what's a moment you would want to relive?
A moment I would want to relive. Is it crazy? There's nothing?
Nah, you gotta give me something. I knew you was gonna.
Because it's just like, I'm so young. There's so much to experience. So why would I want to relive something I've already experienced?
And because you were so happy at that time, maybe you just wanted to feel it again. It can be as simple as, remember when you said, I forgot the specific cake, but like, remember the cake that you said you got every time for your birthday?
Yeah.
It could be the first time you ate that cake. Unless every time you eat that cake feels like the first time you ate the cake. It could be as simple as that.
Maybe I'm just thinking too hard. I don't know, man.
When you graduated, I know somebody has said that.
Man, I don't even know if I'm going to my celebration.
You're talking about high school.
No. In the pandemic?
Oh, yeah,
with the little makeshift stage out in the parking lot? Yeah, I know.
Oh, you had the parking lot? Oh.
Didn't even get to go to the stadium. No, a moment, a day I would like to relive is going to the beach in Turks and Caicos.
Beach.
Yeah. I love the ocean. I love the ocean so much. And I have so many beautiful memories by the ocean. But something about that day was different. It was just so perfect outside, and the beach was so perfect. And we were like the only tourists there. The rest of the beach was just locals with the good vibes. The sunsets were crazy. And it was just like,
all the stars aligned.
yeah. You know what I think? I think I was so depressed in that time era that was one of the few memories I have where I was totally at peace. Like with myself and everything surrounding me. I feel like that's what that was. Because
Like a breath of fresh air.
Exactly. It was healing, a healing experience. I'll definitely go back to that beach again someday.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, the way you made it sound.
Before all those.
Like a must do.
For sure. Before all the islands underwater, make sure I take a little trip back.
Gotta go before it gets bad. All right, time to ask the lasting questions. I need a good one.
You probably got a list of questions in your phone.
You're absolutely right. Like, I think I'd probably get like over 100. Like well over 100. But I kind of just find the questions as like some of them are like follow-ups. And some of them were just like random ones that I just thought about. Okay, I guess we can ask this one before that one. Okay. What are some fun facts about you?
Some fun facts about me.
Yep. Make sure they're fun. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Some actual fun facts. I can see into the soul. As everybody can. But what I experience within my my clairvoyance is so intriguing, and I'm still learning what it means. But when I look into the soul deep enough and long enough, it's like I see it in its purest form. I'm never looking at a human vessel anymore. I'm seeing something else. But every time I've read someone, it was always different, vastly different than the last. And I'm excited to see how I grow within my natural gifts, especially as it pertains to that.
Does that take energy or?
Huh?
I said, does it take energy or is it like a passive kind of thing? Like, do you have to actively?
Like I have to sit in front of you and look in your eyes, and you have to open up and let me look into your soul, and I see things.
So if they don't open up, you can't see?
I mean, yes, actually, because I tried to give my best friend a reading, right? But she's she deals with a lot of anxiety and fear. And I could tell that she wasn't ready to know something like that about herself. So she wasn't letting me in. So I could feel her energy, but I wasn't seeing. I wasn't seeing it because she wasn't letting me. Because she didn't want to. And that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I think that if I continue to keep exercising it, it'll become more like instantaneous.
Like a drive-by?
But even just think about it, people rarely look each other in the eyes when they speak anymore. you know?
Or just in general, just walking, maybe looking down.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Or
That
just
too.
looking past. I tend to do that. Like I look straight, people think I'm looking at. No, I'm actually looking like past you. I'm not looking at you.
Right. I used to do that a lot.
I feel like
It's like
you're just in the motion. You're just moving.
You know what's
like I gotta
funny?
Get to somewhere. Yeah.
I used to do that when I was walking, like especially in high school, when I was walking by someone that I knew didn't like me. I would act like I'm looking in their direction so that they would look at me, but I was really looking like above their head. Like,
but
nigga,
like,
ain't nobody.
Like, you know that they look.
But I know that they're right there looking at me like. That shit was so petty. I don't do that anymore. Now I either just ignore your presence or I look you dead in the eye. It's no in between. Another fun fact is that I love to dance. Okay. I think that's a pretty fun fact. Yeah. I don't dance to look professional. I just dance because it feels good.
Is there like a certain type of music that you prefer to dance over?
Like,
you know what I'm saying, where you just find yourself dancing more to?
Like either some really so I really love to dance to EDM music. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Electronic dance music is they will definitely take me there. But I've found that kind of like a cross between amapiano and like house music and just like something deep in the villages of Africa is what really lights up my soul and puts me in a trance. Like, I don't know if that I think it makes sense. It makes sense, right? You can envision it, hear it in a sense. But I think that, like, really allowing myself to just move to what I heard to that is the first time I physically felt my ancestors and my spirits within me. And that's just like the coolest shit ever. You know? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience to allow yourself to have.
Void of all expectation of how you should look.
Exactly. I'm dancing with them. Yeah.
Next question. At what moment did you feel pretty? Like you yourself felt it, like not somebody saying you. I mean, if somebody said it, that's, but like where you truly felt it yourself.
I'll tell you something so sad, but it's real. The first time I ever actually felt pretty was when I let my friends comb my locks out when I was like 13 or 14 years old. And I got to straighten my hair every day. And every time, like, I would just be in the hallway, they'd be like, oh my gosh, Kalesiah, your hair is so pretty. And it's as sad as it sounds, as Black women, we tie so much of our beauty into our hair, especially because it's a form of self and cultural expression that has literally been taken away from us, you know? And it's sad. It's so sad. That's really where my mind is going the first time I really felt pretty.
Did you ever get locks back?
Maybe when I'm old.
Damn.
Maybe when I'm older.
Damn.
Anytime
somebody said that, I'm thinking like we're looking in the distant future.
Not older. Not old. Okay, yeah, no. Because I feel like
50. Damn.
That's not even old, though.
It's not old, though.
Yeah. Because, I actually really love my afro because I hated it for so long. I hated my hair. And I couldn't straighten my hair all the time, and my mom refused to let me get a perm. So I put the locks in my head because a lot of my family had locks, so it just felt like a familiar hairstyle that I would just never have to deal with, you know?
It just made sense.
Yeah, it just made sense. And then I straightened it for so long after that. And then when I stopped straightening it, embracing the curls was a really long process of letting it, letting the damage grow out and just finding the right products and all that, is a whole process. And I just really fell in love with my natural hair in its natural state, even when it doesn't have product in it and it's not defined. I just love the fro. And I love having my ether just everywhere. But yeah, and I also think that my hair, it adds a unique addition to my self-expression that I also think benefits me in my modeling career. So that's also the reason why. Because it's unique, I have a unique curl pattern. And most people don't even, a lot of the sisters are starting to wear their hair in fros again. But it took us a while to get there, And even so, that's not the majority. Especially if you step outside of the U.S. Yeah. Especially if you step outside of the U.S. So, yeah. But the locks will come back eventually. They will.
See, that's what we're waiting for. That's interesting. About your combing out the locks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to just have my hair out, but because I wasn't taking care of it and my mom didn't like it being nappy, she would perm it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't bad until you have to deal with it. Until you have to deal like you know what I'm saying? It looking just bad because of the perm and the damage.
Exactly. And when I used to wear my hair straight all the time, when people ask me why I always wore my hair straight and never natural, I would say because it was easier.
Because you can't go back after. Because if you go back, then that's when the accumulation of damage all sets in.
But it was never easier because I'm still touching up my hair every day. What was easier was it felt easier to love myself, And then when I started wearing it natural, I could go 2-3 weeks without touching my head, and my hair will still look good as long as I put it up right at night.
That's why I got locks. I was like, this is just...
I feel you, man. I feel you.
It's just easier that way to just stick with the natural versus putting stuff like that in your hair. The damage.
Do you want this?
No. We got the last part.
Hey, the last part?
All right, we're near the end. So, what advice would you give younger you?
Huh?
What advice would you give younger you?
The advice I would give my younger me ties back into one of the first questions you asked me, and it's simply never be afraid to be yourself. It's as simple as that.
You had trouble being yourself?
For sure. I think most people do. That's why you meet so many people that are just like the next. They're not actually being themselves. They're being what other people want them to be.
Can't have that.
Nope.
All right, so this is going to be like a little time capsule.
Okay.
So, what advice would you give older you? What advice would you give your older self?
What? Older... But I don't...
You got to look at her, though. You can't... advice is not always, what you...
Just live your life, man. Just live your life. Yo, I was watching this, No, I wasn't watching. I was reading an article. Oh, sorry. I was reading an article, and it was a survey that they did of older people that they wish they did when they were younger, or any regrets they had. And the vast majority of them felt like they didn't live their life like how they wanted to. They spent their whole life trying to get money or make their way up in whatever field that they were in. And by the time they actually got to where they wanted to be in that area, they had lost their inner child. And they spent so much time just going through the motions of life than enjoying life and appreciating life.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So one thing I would say to my older self is never forget that article you read, because it's some facts.
Okay. Any goals for older you?
Goals for older me?
Yep.
Just to be thriving.
In all aspects of life?
Thriving. My best self.
Want to like get muscles? Why you started flexing?
Cause I'm saying like this is my best self. You know?
Makes sense.
That's how I'm gonna feel all the time. That's how I do feel. Cause I am her. We're just growing.
You want to update her on what life is now?
Right now, she's healing. She's healing.
Good healing or bad healing? Like.
All healing is good.
I'm talking about like was it like a bad experience where you have to heal, or are you just healing just to?
Just healing.
Okay.
You know, shitty experiences, good experiences, all the same shit, because it's forcing me to heal, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Enough. So we just healing?
Just healing. But the healing is a lot. The healing takes a lot of work. Growing is hard.
Can never be easy.
No, literally, it's not.
All right. You want to say bye to her?
Bye?
To her?
Oh. Bye!
Okay. Give me my intro. I mean my outro.
What's that?
Give me my outro.
Outro?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what outro means. I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what outro means. It's the opposite of intro. Wow. I feel slow. Hey, you gotta learn something new every day, right?
Can't be slow if you don't learn.
The outro is you can create any life that you desire. You are God.
Any more wise words for the people at home?
At home, I don't think they care what I have to say. That's why I'm out here.
I'm saying.
I'm just kidding. If you're seeing this, Mom, I love you.
I was talking about like for people watching.
Oh, okay. Wise words. Question everything we were taught to believe. It's all an illusion. Might seem like some bullshit, but it is once you look beyond the veil. Real shit.
Are you gonna say bye to them? You gotta say bye to the people.
Bye. I think that was pretty good.
Yep. All right, tell us the fit.
Bro, the fit. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I stole this from an old friend. Never gave it back.
Shout out the whole friend.
For real. These
The shoes?
Doc Martens. Real heavy duty, real strong.
Can kill somebody with one stomp.
No cap. And I ain't gonna lie, this was the last purchase I ever made. And I bought it from Shein. And I was like, this is the last Shein package I'm ever gonna buy.
Yeah, because we want quality around here.
We want quality, but we also want moral, sustainable clothing on our bodies.
Let them know. Wait, one more time for the people.
Saying? I ain't even gotta say too much. You can't tell me these pants aren't fire though. Nobody would dare say from Shein.
All right. How about the earrings?
Oh, I don't know. I just be collecting earrings.
Type shit nose.
I don't know. Amazon. You got the nose ring from Amazon.
So how much the whole fit? The whole fit. How much it costs?
Bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, because of the shoes, at least $200. that's kind of a lot for a college student.
All right, say bye to the people.
Bye.
Oh wait, you probably dark. Wait, like rotate.
But y'all want to know something?
Oh yeah. Wait. Show it to the people again. Say bye to the people.
Yo, you're funny. Nah, but let me tell the people something.
All right, let them know.
Did you know that this is the real peace sign? This is the peace sign our ancestors used to use. This
Not open.
This came from the Romans, I believe, and it means war. It literally means war, which is so ironic that people say peace. But really, it's peace.
War. Oh.
But even if you just think about the symbolism, peace, oneness versus separatism. You know?
We know now.
Now you know. All done.